All right, so we are in week 6, and to get started in week 6, you should make sure that you go through each of these links. So you're going to read lecture for week 6. This explains that we're working in a research paper, we're learning MLA style, and there are a couple links here that you should be looking at and watching with some tutorials and information about research papers and MLA style. So once you complete that, you'll click next. And then this is the assignment page. You have 3 assignments this week. You have the main project in the textbook, and then you have 2 SAM projects. And so to get you started, this is your first project to be working on. On this page, I also have some tips about some things that may be a little confusing, the directions right here, such as on Word 67. And then I also have a link to the week 4 assignment page that has a video showing you how to complete a textbook project. We did one for Word Chapter 1. It was a flyer where you followed the instructions in the textbook and you upload that in SAM. This week you also have 2 SAM projects, and there's information here, how do I complete a SAM project? The difference is textbook project, you're using your textbook to follow the instructions. SAM projects, you download the instructions from SAM. So now I need to go get my start file from SAM. If I click the next button, this takes you to the chapter that this is based in. This is an electronic version of the book. We have asked that you have the hard copy, the printed version of the book. We asked that you rented that for $7.99, so you should be using a hard copy of the book and following along with that. We ask you to do that because it's much easier for you to be successful instead of using this electronic version. If you're using the electronic version, I highly, highly recommend you get the book. It's a requirement for this class. So here's where I can get started on my main project, my main textbook project. So to get started, I'm going to click on this link. It's going to take me into MindTap and SAM. It reminds you and says to receive credit, discard the textbook instructions that asked you to create a new file. You're using this file instead. You're using this as your start file. This is not compatible with Office 2016 for a Mac. So you shouldn't be using a Mac. You should be using something with Windows and Office 2016 on it. I'm going to click Start. So this is my file. You should read this information. I download this file. It tells me what I'm using in the book, that I should be working in Word Module 2, Chapter 2 in your book. And then I know later it's going to be asking for this file name. So I'm going to go ahead and select my file name, use Control-C on my keyboard to copy this. I'm not going to copy the period or the .docx. I don't need that. I'm going to open my file. I can see that it's new Word, new Microsoft Word document, Jennifer Robinson. My second time I've downloaded, so that has it too. So I'm going to click File, Save As. I'm going to browse. I'm going to go to my desktop. That's where I have my folder, Pump 101, Word, Chapter 2. And I'm going to select all of this, and I'm going to do Control-V and just paste that in there. Now you may end up saving it and then changing the name later, but the key is you have to have this file name in order to submit your project. So I'm going to click Save. And at this point, this is when I get started in my textbook. So if I go back to my modules, I should have already been on the pages in my textbook. I can't show you that because I have to show you my desk, and I can't. So I want to make sure I'm in Word 57 to Word 111, and I'm following those steps on creating this research paper. So I have downloaded my start file, I have saved it, I've named it what Sam wants me to name it, and now I get started in the project. And then after that, I'm going to go and I'm going to make sure I complete my other 2 projects in SAM, where I go strictly to SAM to get my instructions to do that.